This podcast is sponsored by nobody.
Hey everybody, Lois Bromfield, comedian here, and I should be famous from listening to Tommy's Throwback, Kovac on the Splat back. Okay, you know what? I can't say it. Anyway, I love being on the show. He's funny. He asked me 1,000 questions. I have no answers for any of them, and so I wish he would just stop jerking off and ask me more questions. I think he jerks off the whole fucking time, but that's okay because as soon as the interviews are over, I take a huge dump. Great show, love it.
Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be welcoming back the hilarious, the talented, the beautiful Lois Bromfield. She has written a couple of books since the last talk we did back in 2018. We did 2 that year. My Dirty Life in Comedy, which is a memoir, and then An American Comedian Lost in Bavaria. And we're going to talk about those, also reflect on so many of the great stand-up comedians she came up with that have passed away in the last few years. And it's going to be a great conversation. We've been trying to do this again for a while. Back in February, we came very close, and it's going to be a great conversation. Like I said, I love Lois. She is just absolutely hilarious, and she's such a good person, and I cannot wait. She's just extraordinary. You know, she was a part of that, late 70s to mid 80s comedy boom. So yeah, here is my new interview with Lois Bromfield.
Hello.
Hey Lois, welcome back. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Wait a minute, it's not very loud. Hang on.
I am fucking fantastic. What's up?
Nothing. I don't know. What's up with you? It's too funny. Just a bunch of German stuff.
German stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so awesome. So, how does it feel now to be a literary giant?
Well, I'm not a literary giant, but I'm a giant, but not literary. No, I've just written a couple of books, but I want to write a novel now because I think you have to write a novel. I think when you write a whole bunch of little books, unless you're David Sedaris, people just sort of go, another silly little book, but you have to write something bigger. So now I have to try and write a fictional novel. It's really hard, really, really hard. So that's what I'm doing, but it's going to take me a long time. So
you're going to write a science fiction novel?
Yeah, fiction. It's about a woman who's raised in a really bad redneck family, and she doesn't want to be a redneck. And it's pretty good so far, but we're talking about, it's actually pretty good because she's really annoyed by the fact that her parents are so redneck, but she kind of likes stuff. She likes things like her father farts all the time, and she laughs at it. So she can't figure out why she loves the redneck thing, but she wants to get away from it. So it's like she's torn, but it's good. And her brother is really disgusting, but it's fun. And so I don't know where it came from in my head, but it's good. I think it's pretty good. It's just going to take a long time to write, a really long time.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Really fun. But because the whole redneck thing really fascinates me. Not redneck like bad redneck, Donald Trump redneck voters, but like redneck people who save kids from drowning in a pool. Like you hear about stories where some really stupid guy who picks his nose all the time and his pants are halfway down his ass saves some kid, and you go, well, wow. And then they interview him and he goes, yeah, well, I was there, so what are you going to do? Like they're just simple-minded people who do something really good, and so I started to think about how I could work it into a story, and that's what I came up with. So.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Let's start with My Dirty Life in Comedy. What year did you start writing this?
I wrote that during the pandemic, 2021. I wrote that. But that's all done. I'm having a hard time selling that because it takes, there's so many books, there's just so many writers and so many good books, and it's just really hard to get your tiny little book up there. So This is why I realized you have to write a novel to be taken seriously, and it's just really competitive. So it's but it's fun. I loved writing that. It was good during the pandemic to write that. And then I wrote a thing about living in Germany that's fun too, but it's really short. So,
yeah. Did you have to really reach back into your memory archives, though, for My Dirty Life in Comedy?
Yeah, but it's funny. It's kind of all there. you kind of never forget some things. Some things you just never go away. Like it never goes away, the feeling of being on the road or just the things that I did. Things that I did in New York that just are embedded in my brain forever. Like having to pose naked for a magazine to make money. It was just awful. And I was so young and so crazy. And then just a whole bunch of other stuff that I did that was just awful. And stuff I didn't even put in the book that I just omitted because nobody would believe it, and so I left it out. But yeah, you kind of have to go back, and then you kind of have to, like the stuff with Stevie Moore and his family and his parents. They were such big racists, and they were so nice to me. I thought, well, thank goodness I'm not a black woman. They wouldn't even let me in their house, And so I had to really decide how to talk about them in a respectful way. But it was really hard to do because at the end I just wanted to put you fucking racist,
Yeah.
But yeah, they were nice to you as long as you were white, so that was good. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yay.
What magazine did you pose for?
A magazine called Cherry Magazine. Oh my God, it's so long. It's 1970. Let me see, 1977.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1977, 1978. Yeah, 1977. It was called Cherry Magazine. CHERI. You can't find it. I've tried to find it. I can't find it. It's a back issue. It's really a long time ago, but it's. I mean, it's really. As a matter of fact, I think I told you this last time. I made the mistake of telling Roseanne about it, and then about maybe not even 2 months later, we were on the stage doing a table reading, and she pulled out the magazine. Somebody got it. Somebody found it and got it.
Yeah.
And she showed it to everybody. Isn't that nice?
She
was such a classy woman. Real class act. Fuck eh. So.
Yeah. God, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's totally fucked up. Totally.
Did you put anything in the book that you regretted later?
No. I don't really regret anything I did. I think the only thing I really regretted was I kind of wish I stayed in California a little longer, like 5 more years. I wish I'd stayed, but I didn't. So I left and went to New York and went to Toronto, to Canada, and I don't know. Yeah, I wish I'd stayed in LA longer. I really liked it. I really liked LA. You don't live in LA? Do you live in LA?
No, I live in Modesto.
Oh yeah, I like Modesto. They have a really good comedy club there, as a matter of fact, called what is the name of the comedy club? I worked there in the 80s. I liked it there. People were really nice. I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah, I just moved here back in June. It's okay,
Yeah, I like it. Modesto's great. I mean, I love California anyway. So, but I loved living in LA. I had such a great time. It was so much fun. So I just wish I'd stayed a little bit longer and then left, because people who stayed forever in LA, I don't know how they're doing it, because they're in their 60s.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're having a good time, because everybody's really young, and you know what I mean? So It seems like it would be really hard to live there when you're old.
And I gave up on trying to live there, after a while. It's just a clusterfuck, especially with the pandemic coming and everything. And LA is just nuts right now with all the homeless people on the streets and shit.
Oh, yeah. Is there a lot of homeless people on the street in LA?
Oh, yeah. All over the place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
It's sad.
Oh, yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah. That is really sad, because when I went to New York, it seemed worse. I mean, every year that I go to New York, there's just so many people. And one guy, oh God, when I went there in 2019, there was a guy at the hotel I stayed at. I made the mistake of booking a hotel in Times Square, which I'll never do again. I don't know why I did that, because I know New York really well. But I booked this hotel. It was so dreadful. But the inside was nice. The rooms were really nice. The breakfast was really good. But when you came out of the hotel, you're right across from the Port Authority. And it's just people lying on the street, guys lying on the street. And one morning I got up and I walked out and I said to this cop, I said, this guy down here, I think he's dead.
Yeah.
She says, no, he's there all the time. We try to take him out. He never wants to go to a shelter. Okay. And then not even 3 days later, they picked him up in a body bag. He was dead. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not staying in this hotel again. I can't stay here. There's dead people at the front door. It was really awful.
Oh,
and after that,
man.
I didn't have a good time. I had to go have wine at like 10 in the morning because I was so upset. Awful.
Yeah. What was the New York comedy scene like as opposed to LA?
In when I was there in the 70s, you mean?
Yeah.
It was rough. I mean, it was tough. Catch a Rising Star was a great club, but it was really hard to get in. It was really, really hard to get stage time, because they gave it mostly to the guys, and then you had to there's all this seniority bullshit, so that favoritism and stuff, so you couldn't get a spot. And then I did some stuff there, and then there was the comic strip was actually pretty good. And the Improv was my place where I always went because I lived around the corner. So Chris Albrecht was really nice to me, and he took me out for dinner because I had no money. And then I went on there a lot, and that's where I really started to do stand-up, was there. And compared to L.A., I mean, the Comedy Store was a whole lot easier. And I mean, the comedy clubs in L.A. are a lot easier than New York. So when I went to L.A. and I did stand-up, it was great. It seemed simple to me compared to New York.
Wow.
But the harder part was getting television jobs, so that if you were seen by somebody and you didn't have a good show, they just forgot about you forever. So you had to be really good the day they saw you, the night they saw you. So yeah, I mean, but the comedy clubs, I'll tell you where the comedy clubs are great is here in this part of the world. The ones in London are great.
Mm-hmm.
The one here in Berlin is amazing. There's one in Munich that I'm playing in November. They're great. The audiences are amazing, and they're just really, really good. They're good audiences in this part of the world. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me about an American comedian lost in Bavaria. Like, why is it American and not Canadian comedian?
Because I've lived here since because I left when I was 20.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was 1920 when I left. So I've lived my whole adult life in the States, and I've been an American citizen longer than I've been Canadian in Canada. So it just didn't make sense to do that. And I totally feel like an American. The only time I feel Canadian is when I go back into Canada and they go, "Hey, welcome home, eh?
Yeah.
Come on, how you doing? Come on, why don't you go over there to the donut place? What's that donut place called? Tim Hortons. Come on, let's go to Tim Hortons and have a coffee, okay?" Like, I realized, oh, fuck, I'm Canadian. Shit, yeah. I'm a Canadian, God damn it. And then I go, okay, well, yeah. Then I come back to the States and I realize I'm actually American. Yeah, I am. Big American.
Yeah, because it has a slight reference to an American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, exactly. I love that movie. But you know, when you watch that movie now, there's no special effects, just the guy turning into a fur coat.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And back then it was pretty groundbreaking, you know?
Yeah, it was. But it's really funny. When you watch it now, you start yawning. You go, I got to go to bed. This is so boring. Because we're so used to big stimulation with special effects. It's too funny. Yeah. Hey, who's in the picture with you on your page here? Is that who's that person on the right?
That's Pee-wee. That's Paul Rubens.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved him. Did you love him?
Oh, I beyond loved him. Like my love for comedy started with Pee-wee.
Wow. That's great. I didn't recognize him at all. Okay, I have to look at it later when I hang up with you.
I met him at a horror con, and oh my God. So I spent 2 hours and 35 minutes in line, and that's really hard on my legs because, you know, I've been in an accident and everything over the years.
Oh, shit,
and it was worth it. I mean, he was just the sweetest fucking guy ever.
Wow.
Did you ever see him at the Comedy Store?
No, I never did. I never saw him at the Comedy Store. I don't think so. But I saw him at a party once. I don't know who invited me to the party, and I saw him then. He was really, really nice, really shy, and very soft-spoken and nice. Yeah, a long time ago. But I didn't recognize him as Pee Wee Herman at all because I only recognized the character he did. So it was hard to see who he was. But he was nice. Yeah, really nice. Yes. Wow.
Which brings me to my next point. You know, in the last few years, we've lost so many people you came up with, like Saget and Gilbert and Louis Anderson, Gallagher, Belzer, and of course the gatekeepers, Rick Newman, Bud Friedman. Like, do you have any good stories about any of these guys?
I mean, Louis Anderson I knew really well when he worked in Vegas, and I started working there. And he and I would meet at the Golden Nugget. We'd go down and have breakfast in our bathrobes. We thought that we were so cool doing that. I don't know why. We're so stupid because he was so fat, and he was so great though, and he loved all the young boys, and I loved him. And we sat and gambled a lot. And he actually had a really big problem with gambling, I think. Pretty sure he had some issues with it, but he was very nice and so fucking funny. He was so good a comic. I thought he was great. And Richard Belzer, I didn't get to know that well. I knew him in New York a little bit, but I never knew he was gay. Never. I don't know if he just stayed in the closet because I wrote a thing about staying in the closet in the 80s and how a lot of comics you couldn't come out. You could not fucking come out or your career was over. And I wrote a short story about it, very short, just 2,000 words. And I'm actually trying to get it published. It's pretty good. But anyway, yeah, so Richard Belzer and I kind of knew each other in New York. He was great, really nice guy, really funny and really bitter and tough. And Bud Friedman I never liked. I never liked him. I thought he was a sort of a prick, honestly.
A lot of people say
I didn't like him. He didn't like me. I didn't like him. And then when the strike happened, which nobody ever forgot, they couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
He hated everybody who didn't work for him. So that's how that went, But and Bob Saget, yeah, I kind of just knew him from the club. I was horrible that he died. It was just fucking awful that he died like that in some hotel.
Yeah.
Now, what did they ever find out about that? Did he actually fall? You think and hit his head? Didn't he? Isn't that what happened?
I don't. Oh, they said that he had a heart issue. I don't know what happened necessarily. I mean, there's some people who say, "Oh God, he must have pissed somebody off or something." I don't know. Fucking, I can't imagine him pissing anybody off.
No, I just think he had an accident, or maybe he had a heart thing happen, or something happen. Oh, poor guy. He was so nice. I liked him. I don't think he was funny, but I liked him. I think he was just sort of he was one of those people who managed to get a TV show because he was sort of likable and tall. I always think tall people do better, and they do. But I mean, I knew all those comics coming up, and tons of them, and some of them were nice, and some of them just were, assholes. I think the nicest celebrity I ever knew was Robin Williams. So he was the nicest. He was so nice and so decent. And I remember one night after the comedy club, he was signing autographs, and I was standing beside him because I don't know why I was standing beside him. Mm-hmm. And he said, "You'll be doing this someday." I said, "I don't think so. I don't think I will be doing that someday." But he was just decent. He never said anything indecent to me or said anything or came on, or you know what I mean? He was just a really nice man. I really liked him. I really liked him a lot, and I loved his movies, and I was a big fan. So
absolutely.
I would say he's probably the nicest guy. Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw Saget live in 2017. He did an hour of stand-up and a half hour of playing acoustic guitar and singing silly songs. I'm like, God, he's such a showman. Yeah, and he's so quick, too. He was doing some really good crowd work, too. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are gone. I mean, a lot of them are gone, and it's just really hard to imagine it because none of them were really that old.
No.
I don't know how old Bob Saget must have been. 60, maybe 60 something, but and Richard Belzer maybe was a little older, but I have no clue how old anybody was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Saget and Gilbert and Louis, they were in their 60s, and Belzer was in his late 70s for sure. So
that's what I thought. He was older, right? Yeah.
And so was Gallagher.
God, it's so weird. It's weird to think about all that because when I was doing stand-up at the Comedy Store, everybody was really young, so it's just bizarre. And now I think, like when I see Argus Hamilton doing stand-up still at the Comedy Store, I'm like, why is he still doing it?
Yeah.
Why is he still there? Wow. I don't. Maybe they're paying him. Maybe she must have left it in her will to make sure he always had money.
Are you friends with him on Facebook?
Yes.
Every day he puts up like 21 liners, and each one's funnier than the fucking last. Oh my God!
Yeah, he's pretty good at it.
Yeah, I crack up at everyone I see. Oh my God! And he's up on the news. He knows what's going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was always like that. I mean, he's a hardcore comic. He loves doing stand-up, and I guess he's good at it. I don't know. I mean, I like harder stuff than news stuff, but it's so weird to think of all these guys. They were in their 30s when I saw them, or maybe early 30s, late 30s. Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strange.
It is really strange. And, and recently we lost Michael Nesmith, and you were on his show Television Parts in that infamous Sorority Girls from Hell sketch.
I know. That was so funny. Oh God, I love that. I love it. He was so smart.
Yeah.
He had such a great brain for concepts. He just said to me, "Let's do this as a video. I have it all figured out, the whole thing." And he did. He had it all figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But
did you write that sketch?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I did it on stage. I improvised the whole thing over a period of about a year, and then I started doing it consistently the same way. Yeah. He did it verbatim. He didn't change anything. This is what I liked about him. So I said to him, but it has to be exactly the way I do it. He said, "You do it exactly the way. I'll just work around it, and I'll do the scenes around it." He was so honest that way, and true to it. He didn't try to change it or make it his. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the video he shot, of course, was his, but the concept and the whole thing was mine. But and I had an enormous following from that. It was 1985 we did it,
Mm.
And I still today have people write to me, so guys that are in their 20s go, I love Sorority Girls from Hell and Irvine. I'm like, where are you seeing it? It's like 30 years ago. And they see it somewhere. I don't know, on video bars or whatever. I don't know where. But yeah, it really made a huge impression. It's a 3.5 minute video. Weird.
It looks like it took forever to film, though.
It didn't. It took a day. It took a day to film. It took a whole day. And as a matter of fact, I came back from Las Vegas from the Dunes Hotel to film it. And then I went back that night really late with some girl that I was fucking, and she was awful. God, she was horrible.
Really?
Oh, my God. Oh, Lois, do you have $20? No, I don't have $20. Well, I need $20. Okay, I'll give her $20. Then I wouldn't see her for 2 hours. You know what? I think I lost it somewhere. Do you have another 100? Yeah, okay, bitch. Fuck. Oh, God, it was awful. Yeah, she was terrible. And then she was horrible in bed, so why was I giving her money? At least be good in bed if you're going to have to pay somebody. Jesus.
Really? What were her fingers straightened during the finger bang or something?
No, she just wasn't fun. She wasn't fun. Too much pinching your tits against the bed and stuff like that. Just awkward shit. It's just like sleeping with somebody who had been drugged. It was awful.
How would you know?
Just falling all over you. Just they threw them from a building and they landed on top of you. It's like, okay, this is not sex. This is just an accident. Fuck. It's horrible. It was horrible. And then I saw her like years later, and she had another girlfriend. I felt so sorry for her girlfriend. I wanted to ask her if she had any bruises, but she was just, yeah, it was just awful girl. Awful, awful. I can't remember her name now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Beth or something. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I had tons of girlfriends. I had too many girlfriends. I can't tell you how many girlfriends I had. I remember listening to, this is what I hated about not being able to be gay in my act in the 80s.
Yeah.
I would hear Sam Kinison get up and talk about all the pussy he had, and then I'd think, I had way more pussy than he did.
Yeah.
Way more. And I'd say to him, Sam, you talk about all that. He said, I just have hookers, And I'd say, well, that's paid pussy, but that's good. He said, how about you? I said, I get pussy all the time. What are you, crazy? Are you nuts? Constantly, never run out of it. Oh, my God. And I'd go to Vegas and he'd be there with hookers and I'd be there with two girls and I'd say, well, mine were free. How much did yours cost? It's awful.
That's hilarious. Guess what I saw recently?
What?
Apartment 2C starring George Carlin.
Oh, my God. Isn't that weird? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where did you see that?
It was on YouTube. And
oh, my God.
For people who don't know, you got to interview him as Jesus on a talk show.
Yeah, that's great you know that. I have it on my website. I had it on my website. Maybe it got deleted. Sometimes they delete stuff. They don't want you to have that on your website. But
oh yeah,
God, that was so. I was the only person who would do it.
Really?
Because he said to me, "Do you mind doing that?" I said, "No." He said because a lot of actresses who were religious didn't want to do it. I said, "Oh fuck, who can be an actress and be religious? It doesn't even make any sense."
Yeah.
Nuts. Yeah. He was great. He was so nice. I know his daughter really well.
Kelly, I talked to her last
Kelly
year.
Carlin.
Yeah.
You should interview her, actually.
I did.
Did you?
We talked last year. Yeah, we talked about that.
Good.
We talked about, some of his acting because he was a really good actor and people don't realize that.
Yeah, he was a really good Yeah, he was.
I mean, in addition to being one of the greatest comics of all time, he was also a very good actor.
I think he was one of the greatest comics of all time. I agree. I think he was great. I thought he was just brilliant and great. And any comic that can just do that, but just not doing the comic bullshit, is brilliant. It's just, this is what you're supposed to this is what you're supposed to aspire to as a comedian, is just riffing on things that matter in your head and talking. Yeah, he was really good. He was so good. I remember saying to him that I couldn't say I was a lesbian on stage. And he said, oh, fuck them. What a bunch of assholes. He got so mad. He said, just fucking say it. Who cares? Fuck that. He got so pissed. I said, I can't. My career will be over. He said, you know what? Fuck them. You'll find your audience. And he was right. You find your audience. But it took, 20 years. But you do find your audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Also, Bruce Valanche was a writer on that, too. I've talked to him as well.
Oh, yeah. He's great. I like him, too. I don't know him that well, but I like him. I've met him a couple of times. I always manage to meet people at these parties that I get invited to. And then that was the only thing worth going, for the food and the people you meet, a couple of people you would meet at parties.
I saw this VHS comedy special that you did back in the mid-'80s. It wasn't the Paramount Theater. It was this one. It was all women. and on the cover of the box of the VHS, it was like sailors in the audience, sailor men.
Oh my God! What? Oh, women tell the dirtiest jokes. Is that
Yes,
it?
that's what it was. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched your set. Oh my God, I was giggling like a schoolgirl. You were fucking hilarious.
I don't think I was that dirty though. I think they told me. I mean, I told me I had to be dirtier. But that's so funny you watch it. Hey, you know what I should send you? Or you should find. You would love this. It's
What?
called. I just found it recently. It's called The Girls of the Comedy Store. It's on my website, but you should see it. You would love it. It's so badly written. A bunch of comics wrote it, and then we all performed it. But it was back in the 80s, 1986 maybe, 87. And you should really watch it. You would love it because it's about 40 minutes long. And it's just a bunch of really weird sketches that don't mean anything, have nothing to do with each other. And a bunch of women just doing like arbitrary sketches, and no females wrote it, just the men, you know.
Yeah.
But some of it's good. And I look about 12 minutes, so it's good.
I'm gonna check it out as soon as we're done. Yeah, I thought, oh my God, I thought your crowd work was so good too.
Thanks. That's all I do now. But you know what? That's all I do. I mean, I'm going to Munich next week, and I have such a great time there because it's a boxing ring. They turned a boxing ring into a comedy club. So you're actually in a boxing ring, and the audience is all the way around you. But it's really fun to do. So I just tear the audience apart. And the last time I did it was a couple of years ago, and this one woman and I had this whole conversation for almost 40 minutes about her child and what a bad mother she was. It was really good.
Oh,
Got
that's
a lot of
awesome.
laughs. Yeah, she brought her kid to the show. I said, "Oh, that's fantastic. Good for you. That's great. You'll be in prison soon." You know, stuff like that. So. It's just great, though.
What's your book writing process like? Like, how far along are you for your novel?
Well, I'm not very far along because I have to learn how to write a novel because I've never done it before. So now I had to go back and look at, it's got to be at least 60,000 words. So the longest book I wrote was 30,000 words, half, and that was a lot. So I have to figure out how to take this story about this woman and her family and just how to outline it and give it moments and failures and successes and movement and move the story along. And it's hard. Even though I know how to write, I don't know how to write this exactly. So I have to learn it. And right now I'm probably, I guess I have 10,000. I only have about 10,000 words. It's not very much because it's going really slow. And so my goal is 70. So my goal is really at this time next year, I should have a first draft. That's it. Yeah.
Awesome. That is so friggin' awesome. Yeah. Have you got up on stage at all lately?
Have I what?
Have you got up on stage at all lately?
Not for a while. The next time is November 18th, and then next year I'm going to go to. I'm coming to New York next year.
Nice.
But I'm also going to do. A woman in New York who is a friend of mine from a long time ago has asked me to. She loves my book, and she said you should think about writing it as a one-woman show. And I said, well, I've never done that. She said, no, but just even if you put together a couple of scenes, I could get you to read it at a theater in New York. I'm like, wow, okay, it's pretty big. So I said, well, we'll see. So I'm working on that too, just trying to see if I can find from my book. It has to be all dirty. I mean, I have to pick up all the dirtiest stuff possible and put it in. So we'll see. So there's that as well. And then I'm going to work in Berlin. I always do once every year. I do the English shows in Berlin because it's a German comedy club, but they do English shows once a year. So it's an incredible theater. It's a great club. But
Nice.
the people are not easy to get them to laugh because they're Germans and they're like staunch German people who I learned English and I'm going to understand it, damn it. And then they don't get the jokes. So. Fuck. Just want to throw a schnitzel at them.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. So really quick, we got to play my secret silly game. This is a series of silly slumber party questions. No win or lose. It's just pure fun. And how the game works is I ask you the question, you answer it, and then you ask me that exact same question and I answer it. And feel free to comment on the answers because they might be funny.
Okay.
Lois, are you ticklish?
Yes. Tommy, are you ticklish?
Oh, yes. If someone tickles me without warning, though, I might hit them in the groin.
That's a nice word, modern word, groin. I like that. It's like a 1950s trouser commercial. Go ahead.
Is your belly button an innie or an outie?
My belly button is an innie. Is your belly button an innie?
Yes, it is.
because the Audis are weird, really ugly. I couldn't even date somebody with an Audi belly button. Couldn't do it.
Some of them are cute. Some of them.
Oh, have you ever dated somebody with an Audi belly button?
Oh yes. I have.
It's like a little dick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a baby dick. Yeah.
It's a baby. It's a little mini dick. Wow.
What color are your toenails painted?
I don't paint my toenails. What color are your toenails painted?
Right now they're not painted, but last time they were lavender purple.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's very nice. That's very trans. Good for you.
Yeah. I've been painting my toes since I was 13.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I love that. That's very nice. That's really great. I like you more now than I did before, even though I liked you before a lot. What?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Okay, you have to send me a photo of that, will you? Of your feet.
Oh, yeah. I have lots of pictures of my toenails painted.
I think that's totally cool. I love that. That's great.
Yeah. What would you say is your best personality trait?
Oh, boy. Loyalty, I guess.
You are loyal.
I'm really very loyal and a good friend. What is your best personality trait?
I have empathy and I have no filter.
Do you know what? That's really a good answer, and that's true. Empathy and no filter. I have to say that mine's loyalty and empathy, too. I didn't think about empathy because I'm so tired tonight. I couldn't think above loyalty. Wow, that's great that you said that. That's very good. I guess, yeah, loyalty and...
Well,
I guess I'm pretty fucking honest, too. Honest is good. Way too honest.
I'm a Gemini, you know.
Oh, are you? I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
And I'm married to a Scorpio, which is bizarre.
Oh, yeah? Scorpios are moody, horny, and they hold grudges.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to put on her next birthday card. Happy birthday, too. No, but she's actually a really kind, nice Scorpio. I had a Scorpio girlfriend before who was terrible. She was great in bed, but she wasn't good out of bed. That was the problem. Yeah. She was only good in the bed.
If you could have anything named after you, what would it be?
If I could have anything named after me, what would it be? Oh, a children's hospital, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. The Lois Bromfield, the St. Louis.
Lois Bromfield.
St. Louis.
Yeah, a big children's hospital named after me. I think that's like the greatest thing you can leave in your life and when you're gone. Is your name across a building that helps. I think that's the greatest thing you can do if you can afford it. I mean, I remember seeing this video of Barbra Streisand going out with, where was it? It's on video on YouTube. She's leaving her little dogs to go to someplace in LA to open a center, the Barbra Streisand Center for Education. I'm thinking, that's what you do with your money, you know? That's what you do. If you make money and you have fame, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. And that, to me, is the most honorable thing. I mean, she's 80-something years old, so when she's gone, just think she's got her name in places that matter. So that's what I would want, yeah. What about you? Where would you want your name? Where would you want your, whatever the question was?
A vibrator.
Jesus. Oh, God. Hey, by the way, vibrators are overrated. You know that, right?
I think they can be, you know, depending on...
They are. Oh, yeah. They are totally overrated. I'll tell you why. Right. They're too fast. It's just a big, fast, bad. It's like when you chew gum and the flavor goes away really quickly. That's what it feels like. It's the same feeling. It's just a big thing, and then you go, okay, well, that was awful, and you didn't even have a moment to really enjoy it. It's just gone. Same with the gum with too much flavor, and the sugar's gone. You just spit it out, you know? Well,
if I had my own, it would be called the Tommy Chatsy, and if it came with a clit sucker, it would be the Tommy Constrictor.
Oh, my God, clit sucker. Clit sucker sounds like a Western.
The clit sucker?
The clit sucker. Sheriff Clit Sucker's in town. Clear out of the bar. Clear out of the pub. Here comes Sheriff Clit Sucker. Oh, boy.
And then my favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
Is there a stinky smell that makes me gag? Well, I have a dog, and I always have to smell his poo, so I've gotten used to that. Let's see. Yeah, you know what's really stinky and makes me gag is the smell of piss in New York City in the summer. Oh. It's really disgusting. The smell of hot piss in New York, and in New York City in particular, because there's piss everywhere, and I love the city. So I love it so much that I'm willing to smell the dirty piss on the street. It makes me almost gag, though. It's really disgusting. Really disgusting. Yeah. But I love the city. I love it. It's the only place I go when I come to the States. I only go to New York. That's the only place I go. I love it.
And for me, it's either farts or feet.
Oh yeah, farts are awful. But you can, when I had the flu, I had farts that I thought that somebody had already died in the corner of the room. I didn't know if it was me or not. I had such bad flu, Tommy. I was so sick. I've never been this sick with the flu for almost 10 days.
Uh-huh.
I was so sick. And I would just go to the bathroom, I'd come back, then I'd poop a bunch, then I'd throw up, and then the dog would just look at me like, why are we in the bedroom all this time? And my partner, who's fabulous, made beautiful food for me and really took care of me. But yeah, no. It was, I don't wish it on my worst enemy. It was dreadful. It was really painful. Oof.
Hey, I have a joke for you. What do you call a boy that doesn't masturbate?
What?
A liar.
Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, it must be awful. I mean, masturbating. I know people who don't masturbate at all. Imagine.
Really?
They don't.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know why they don't. I don't quite get where that comes from. It must be some psychological problem. I don't know. It's very weird. Yeah.
I'm a chronic masturbator, and I get that from my dad, and I really wish I didn't know that.
That's nice. Very nice. Hey, do you have a family? Do you have sisters and brothers?
I have an older brother who's 9 years older.
Wow. Okay. Well, I love talking to you, but now I have to go because I'm hungry.
Absolutely.
I didn't eat anything yet. And it's only, what time is it, 8:30? 8 o'clock? 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever.
Yeah.
I have to go eat. But you're great to talk to. And you know what? Every time I talk to you, it feels better and better. So if you ever want to do this again, we can do it again. But I don't know what we'll talk about. We always find something, right, though?
We always do, Lois. Thank you so much. I'm glad we finally got to do it again.
Me too. And you're awesome. I love that you live with your family, and I love that you wear nail polish on your feet. You have to show. You have to send me that. I love it.
I'm going to be on it as soon as we get done.
Okay, sweetie. Take it easy, okay? And stay safe and stay healthy.
I will. Thank you, Lois. Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, love you. Bye, honey.
Well, there you have it. Lois Bromfield. Ain't she a sweetheart? God, she's so much fucking fun and she's funny. I just love her. Go read her books. An American Comedian in Bavaria and My Dirty Life in Comedy. I will certainly do so as well. I'm going to go check out that Ladies of the Comedy Store video on her website, www.loisbromfield.com. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes!